Hey, what's up? Welcome to the show. Feeling good with Duddy. That's me. Let's go. Yes, and we are back with another episode of Feeling Good with Duddy. As always, I am here with my brother and my co-host, Mr. Jake Bushnell.
Good day.
A man of very few words. And today, we are also joined with two very special guests, Jason and Randy Sklar, the Sklar brothers. What's up?
What's
Hello.
up, dudes?
What's
brothers
happening?
and brothers, man.
Dude, it is a day of brothers.
I like the Lion King open. You know what I mean? It
Yes.
was like, well, are we on an African safari? Is someone
Maybe.
going to get their face ripped off? I don't know.
We knew the remake was coming out, and we said, we're
Let's
going to
get
go
on
ahead.
it.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
get
go
on
ahead
it.
before Beyonce ruins it.
Let's make our own
To
safari.
me, the remake should have been all the animals from The Lion King go to Minnesota and just kill a dentist.
That's it.
Who's
How
like-
great would that be?
Who's like
That should go-
a big game hunter.
Big game
fish
hunter and
specific
go
dentist.
after him.
Yeah, dentist is like, I go out there and I get tusks. It's like, well, not anymore, bitch.
And then they
You're
all
going
just
down.
post pictures online
Ooh,
of
yeah.
them
The
like,
animals, like with,
holding up the dentist.
and then they put his head like on wood in their living room.
But they
Selling
also
the
like
teeth.
Yeah,
I was going to
have-
say tooth necklaces of the
of the dentist, and they're all fillings, so it even makes it that much.
He didn't even eat well.
No.
The
He
didn't
dentist
even eat well.
himself.
Do you
Well,
think
he's-
that then
it's
they would get all
hereditary.
this hate like on Instagram? Like,
Why are
oh,
you
you
doing-
killed the dentist.
Skin is not fur skirt. What is it?
Skin is murder.
Skin is
Skin is
murder.
murder.
Skin is
You
murder.
know
That's
what?
the
That
end.
dentist,
Further.
that dentist fed a whole pack. You know,
Yeah.
that's the stuff. This is stuff you don't
man.
hear about.
I don't even like my dentist, and he's a good guy.
Let alone that dude.
You rarely hear that. Love my dentist.
Oh,
yeah,
Hey, guys,
yeah.
can I?
I love getting mouth raped every 6 months.
I just, you know what? I'll just go like at 3 months just to say hi.
I
Why not, dude?
actually like my dentist.
I love my dentist. It's the woman beforehand who takes like an ice pick
Yes.
to my gums and is like, "You need to floss more." I'm like, "How about you don't like try to destroy me?
Yeah.
You awful person."
Your gums are bleeding. Yeah,
he
you
likes to
stabbed
ask
them.
Yeah, you
That's how
stabbed
that.
me. Yeah.
He likes to ask me full questions.
When
I
your
got,
mouth is full,
he's drilling.
Yeah.
Like, so how was your tour?
Yeah. Ooh, so sorry to hear that. No. That sucks, man. Well, listen, maybe you need a new merch guy.
Yeah.
Like, actually, good point. Actually, a good point.
Oh man! So first thing down, dentistry. All right, the show is
Done.
moving.
Good, solid.
flying.
Love
We
it.
So-
are flying. The Sklar brothers.
If you don't know the Sklar brothers, they're comedians.
Twin brothers, comedians. They are on tour right now. They are playing a show in Huntington Beach, June 15th. Duddy and I are going to go to this show. It is at the Rec Room in Huntington Beach.
Very cool room, man.
Super cool room. You can get tickets at supersklars.com.
Yeah,
They
it's up
also
there.
have a special that's out right now on Stars, Hipster Ghost.
Yep.
Sign up for your 7-day free trial of Stars. Watch Hipster Ghost. Cancel that shit. No,
Cancel
I'm
it.
just
Man,
kidding.
do whatever you want.
Stick
Hey, we didn't
around
say
for the
that.
programming. No, they didn't say it. I did.
Do
Jake.
whatever you want.
Watch a little episodes, a couple episodes of Vita, and then get out of there.
Vita? I was going to say, is there any other shows on there?
Vita's really good.
Yeah, Vita's a solid
great.
show.
You know, I love this room down in Huntington Beach because it's far enough away from LA that you're basically tapping into a different audience. It's not
Totally.
down in San Diego. So there is a feeling like, yeah, we're going to drive an hour to get down here, but it feels like it's on the road. So it feels like a road gig. They do such a good job with that room, and the laughs would just bounce around that place.
It's awesome.
Last time we came down here, we were not prepared for how fun it was going to be. It's so funny because I'm sure you know this, especially with merch. We're like, should we bring some merch down? I wonder if it's going to do well. And then if you don't bring it, there's always like 5 people who are like, what are you doing? Fuck, man. But if you do bring it, then always they're like, why didn't we brought way too much? What are we doing? And that was the one place where we brought it down. We're like, at the last minute, I'm like, I'm bringing it. I'm bringing it. I'm going to bring it. And then I brought it and we sold a bunch of stuff, which
Nice.
is always the
The
indication that
sign
it's a
that
good
the show was a good show.
I think that not just Huntington Beach, but just Southern California, like people really enjoy stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Totally.
I mean,
yes, and also it's like you forget that is an option. I feel like people forget that's an option for a night out. They're like, "What are we going to do tonight? Let's go to the same restaurant we go to
Or a
every 5
movie
years."
or
Oh, yeah.
whatever. It's like, see
No,
live.
you can see live comedy.
It is
The live
great.
comedy is like in literally a group of people laughing together and not on their phones, like checking stuff individually, but collectively. That's like it's basically like the 17-foot jumper in the NBA. It's kind of
It's
like it's
gone.
becoming extinct We need to go back to that.
I agree, man. I mean, me and my wife, we go all the time. We love it. That's like kind of one of our go-tos. Like we got a babysitter or something. Like let's go. Let's go see some
better make this
stand-up.
thing worth it.
We've
Yeah,
done
and we
family
love it.
trips to
Family
the improv,
trips.
like where it's like
Yeah.
20 of us
last
at the
year.
improv. It's
last year. Oh, you want
we
a
saw
great
Norm
Christmas
Macdonald.
present? Yeah, last year for Christmas, I just got like everybody
Tickets
to
to the
the
improv.
same show,
Great.
and we all
Brilliant.
just went, like 30 of us.
Brilliant.
It was great.
And you guys would totally understand this from even a musical background. It's all at this point right now. I think people value experiences a lot more.
Totally.
They're like, all right, you can have a lot of money and that is fine. And things are fine, but also experiences are the best.
It really is.
So if you're all together and you're all like, oh, remember when we
Yeah.
did that? And it's a good idea for
It
a
is.
gift.
Like, yes,
100
your mom wants
the
a
best idea.
candle and your mom wants lotion for sure.
Wait.
But she really wants.
Why
Is
your
your
mom
mom
lotion?
is your mom a Thai massage
I'm
person?
just saying, like,
sensual.
yeah, that's what you get your parents. You get
Does
your
your
parents
mom know
stuff.
Robert Kraft?
Why
What
is
is
that?
Hang on a second.
You don't talk about best like that.
They're business associates.
Okay. All right.
She
My
works at a
mother
strip
is
mall
a
in
fiery
Florida.
Jew, and she will be here in 2 seconds. She's the only one
Our
listening
mother-
live.
This
He's involved in the
story,
oldest
this story has a
band.
happy ending, and that's all I care
Come
about.
on, everybody. Sorry,
And a
Bess.
happy beginning. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
How you doing?
Oh my God. But they're right. The best night out. Come on, everybody who's listening, think of what the last thing we went to the bar and had drinks. That's fine. You can go have drinks and watch
Both.
a stand-up comedian make you laugh, and you can usually get dinner where you see stand-up. So
Totally.
have a burger, have a beer, and laugh.
And
Yep.
you know, for us, and when you tour around, it's like comedy as music. It takes you to cities and places that maybe you wouldn't normally go. Like we were just in Salt Lake City this past weekend. Not a place that we would immediately go to. Yes, it has skiing and whatnot, but
You go there, you start talking to people, you find out stuff. We just found out that Utah just
this is 100% true.
legalized premarital sex.
Just legalize it, which we're like. There's got to be a downside. Like
That was a
Utah,
thing?
Utah just legalized premarital sex. Yay, with minors. Boo.
No, I'm just kidding. No, they did.
was
I'm
gonna
joking.
say,
No,
yay,
but there's
hooray!
yay, boo.
Yeah.
But no, there is that moment where you're like, wait, you're telling us we can have premarital sex? Utah? Is that like that feels like Utah telling people what they can do with their iPhone?
They're like, you can text now. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
we
did
doing
that. We
for
already
months.
knew that.
We were
Yeah.
sexting premaritally,
Yes,
by the
you
way.
can't
Wow.
stop us. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. It's fun for us. Like, yeah, we wouldn't maybe if we were going on a trip with our families. I don't know if we go to Salt Lake City, maybe on the way to Park City, but like to go there and actually experience the town and see what they're
So
into.
we met. So I went to Burning Man this past summer. This past summer.
How long did it take for him to bring it
A
up?
couple minutes. He didn't go. You just
I
wouldn't
also
get
did
it,
a
man.
5K. You
You
guys
did,
last
yeah.
week.
Oh, did you really? Wow.
Good to
I'm
know.
vegan,
Took you a
so,
while to bring that up,
Oh,
and
wow.
that's good endurance.
Anyway, I went and made and met some really great people, and have a really good friend who introduced us to. I mean, these are things that I would never say before last year. She connected me with a dude who is a fire dancer who dances with the fire right before they light the man off at the Burning Man. So he's in a fire. He and his wife are in a fire dancing troupe. I would never know these people had I not gone. So she connected us with him this past weekend in Salt Lake City. We went out to cool restaurants. We hung out with other friends. It was Pride. It was Pride Week there. We went to a drag show after our shows, which was one of the funniest.
It was the best.
It was so enjoyable and so cool.
They have Pride Week in
In-
Salt Lake
I
City,
know.
Utah. Yet they've just legalized premarital sex. They can arrest the entire parade.
Yeah, well,
for the most part.
Exactly. I don't know. So I don't know. Are
I
they
mean, a lot of them
Most
are
of those
married.
people
Yeah,
are married
a lot of gay
anyway.
people get
Maybe
married too.
they're
Yes.
married.
Although
They're
I was talking to this guy, who we had just met, who was friends with the fire, and really good dude. His name
Another
is Bruce.
Burning Man.
Another burner. And I was talking to
Another
Bruce,
burner.
and this guy came up to me, and this dude came up, and he was like totally DTF for me, and he was like,
Not me at all, though.
not
which
you at
is
all.
Weird.
It's like
It's
this guy's
strange.
disgusting.
And
but
now
then-
you guys can.
Yeah,
So.
right.
Hey,
And
it's
so it's but he asked me and this other guy who I was talking to, "Are you guys husbands?" And I was like, "No, but I do like that you feel like we're interacting in such a way."
that you would think
You
they
guys
were
had a
husbands.
vibe.
Yeah, we had
That's
a vibe
cool that they
together.
can even
which
ask
I thought,
that.
I appreciate that. Yeah,
you guys are husbands? That's maybe.
That's really cool.
And
I was
that's
like,
cool that we
maybe.
can be. Yeah.
The drag show was insane. We went to that, and then the next night between our shows, they took us to this was like what was it? It was a pole dancing community.
Yes.
That put on a show for their community. So in between our, we have two shows in a night. So 7:30 and a 9:30, or 7 and 9:30. So we finished our merch line and we had maybe like 45 minutes, and they're like, "Okay, we're driving you over here. It's 7 minutes away," and we like went to this like private crazy. These are girls are all and guys, like men and women pole dancing. And I'm like,
It's a community of
yes,
pole
pole
dancers.
I was like, I can't
Not
believe
like completely stripping, just dancing on the pole.
no stripping at all.
Yeah,
It's just them
pole
doing
dancing.
dancing, but using the pole. And it was creative and cool and very sexy,
Wow.
and it was just amazing. And I was like, I can't believe this is going on in Salt Lake City. There is no way we would have ever known about this had we not connected with our friends.
You know what? I mean, I agree with that. We play, Utah, and we play Salt Lake City all the time, and the fans are great.
Amazing.
They're crazy.
Amazing.
It's always an amazing time, and like
they're kind of starved for it.
they
know what
just,
I
they're
mean?
just looking for a good time, and
That's
they
right.
have a good time.
They do,
They
and
really
so
do.
they were awesome. Shows were amazing.
They're out to prove themselves because they know what the world thinks.
Yeah.
They think that every single person is Mormon, and so they're like, "No, let us prove
Show
you
you.
wrong."
Right.
Sometimes
Let us and our 5 wives prove you wrong.
Yes.
Sometimes
With the straight hair down to the ankles.
Right.
Yes.
Who
and the
cares
flannel.
if the skirt is covering their shoes and hovering around the ground? No, but I mean, you go to New York and you do a show in New York City, which we love doing shows in New York City, but you do a headlining set in New York City, you're maybe one of 4 things that those people are doing that night. They're
Yeah.
going out to dinner, they're going to go see your show, then they're going to go to a club, then they're going to go to a party.
Yeah.
So they're not so invested in what you're
doing.
You know what I mean? Like you're just one of 4.
And they've
You're the
probably
warm-up.
seen, all of the top headlining,
Yeah.
bands, comedians,
Sure.
everything. They
It all
all
comes
come
through
through
their
there.
way. Right, that's
Half
right.
of them probably got their tickets free from someone they know.
Yeah, no one ever comes up to you after a show in New York City is like, thank
you for coming
Thank you for
here."
coming to New York City.
Yeah.
You
so
go to
nice
Utah,
of
you're
you.
like, thank you for
They
coming
come
in.
up, they're
Thanks
like,
for
"You're
coming in."
welcome, guys, for
Yeah,
being
you're
here.
welcome.
Yeah.
You boys.
I hope you
Thank
enjoy. I hope you appreciate it, you asshole.
We did.
I bought tickets to see. I was walking. I was one of these tourists in New York. I was walking up the street, and they were like, "David Tell, you want to see David Tell? I fucking love David Tell.
course.
I paid for the tickets right there. Went to the show. No David Tell.
Oh man.
Still laughed, but
Well,
no
all
David
he
Tell.
said is, "Do you want to see David Tell?" And you said yes.
You're 100%
And he's
right.
like, "Well,
I'm going to keep you wanting to see
David
David Tell.
Yeah.
All we're doing is ensuring that you still want to see him.
Yeah, we're just checking in with you, man.
So technically, you did nothing wrong,
I still want to see him, so it worked.
right?
I've
See?
seen him live, and it is great.
He's
the best.
great. He's
Yeah.
doing a show with our buddy Jeff Ross. They're doing Bumpin' Mics.
Oh, bumping.
Oh, yeah,
Mics,
Bumpin'
that's
Mics.
Great
right.
show.
I love his delivery. It's just, he's got his own little fucking the best.
Jeff Ross. This past summer, Jeff Ross said, we've been doing judging the roast battle. I'm sure you've seen the roast battle.
God, the
but,
roast
like,
battle's so fun.
So he was like, I want you guys to participate in the roast battle on Comedy Central season 3. I want you guys to do it. You got to roast each other.
I saw you guys did.
And it should
perfect.
hurt a little bit. And we're like, Jeff, you want us to take a 25-year, we've been, we're 47 years old, but a 25-year creative relationship and just destroy it in one night. And he's like, yeah. We're like, how much are you going to pay us? He's like, $2,500. We were like, each? He said, yeah. We were like,
All right,
I mean,
I will do that.
Yeah. So we roast
worth
each
our
other.
relation.
We
Yeah.
roast each other, which was a blast. And
Oh,
now
that's
we
amazing.
incorporate that in our stand up, which is so fun because it's such a departure
It's
from
different than
do.
what we do. Yeah,
It's like a different moment, and we do it towards the end. So we spend 40 minutes or so really showing what we can do, especially for people
Together.
who've never seen. And then
Yeah.
we take that one moment to step apart and just take
That's cool.
shots at each other.
Did you guys ever do stand up separately?
We've done it a few times, and we've performed separately. We're big sports fans, and we were asked to host this big event at Michigan for Jim Harbaugh, the signing of the stars, when they had this huge, all their recruits. It was 4 years ago now.
Crazy.
And we were asked to do it, and then I booked a pilot here for True TV that I was acting in, and Randy went by himself back to Michigan to do it. And
I was in front of 4,000 people. These were jokes that I had never told before out, and it's not like tried and true material that I know works. And
Almost testing it.
and Harbaugh and Tom Brady is there, and Desmond Howard's there,
Ric
and
Flair's there. Ric Flair was there and made a huge speech, and then comes over on the couch, and then the producer is in Randy's
No,
ear.
Ric Flair, I'm watching this because I'm watching Ric Flair. He's standing right there, and I'm watching the teleprompter, and he's got a speech that he's supposed to say that he cleared with everybody and was there. And I'm just watching the teleprompter. He's not saying anything on the
my God,
teleprompter.
I
He's
love
just
it.
going on and on and on. And it kind of isn't really making sense. I mean, it's Ric Flair at this point.
But no one cares
Been
because
dumped
he's
on his head a
the
bunch.
greatest.
He's just
Does not care. Crowd's going nuts. And
And
he's
you,
going.
Randy, you were saying he kind of seemed a little it was almost like he didn't really have a ton of energy until he got to the mic, and
And
then
he got to the mic, and he looked like a crusty old dude who was, kind of small in certain ways. And then he got to the mic, and he just kind of fanned out. But it was amazing because in my ear, I've got an IFB in my ear, and there's a producer in the truck going get him off. I'm like,
Get
want me
him
to
off.
Get Ric
Gross.
Flair
What do you
off?
want me to do? Put him in a figure 4 leg lock? Like, how am I going to get him off?
Yeah,
I
you're
was like, I
can
can't
be-
get him off. And then he finishes his speech, and he's like, make sure he doesn't come over to the couch. And then John Harbaugh, Jim's brother, who's the coach of the Ravens, is like, Rick, why don't you come on over here and sit
Oh,
on
God,
no! Start asking him questions. I'm like, okay, I think what we meant to say is next up, the Migos. You know what I mean? It was like, it was insane.
So the jokes that you went to even do, were they jokes that were supposed to be for both of you, and
No.
you just had to one
There
man?
were jokes we both wrote.
Both wrote.
And then we ended up writing for him just because we knew that I wasn't going to be able to be there. We knew
Okay.
pretty far in advance. And so I remember like thinking to myself, I'm sitting in the makeup trailer getting ready to go on set and shoot
Because it
the
was
show.
broadcasted on Derek Jeter's site.
And it was a day show, so it's daytime. They're middle of the day in Ann Arbor, but it's morning out here, and we're getting ready for the first shot. And I'm like in the makeup chair, and I'm watching him, and I'm
And
like,
it's big. I mean, it is
I'm
really
nervous for
You're nervous
him.
for him, more nervous.
It's like a show for like hundreds of thousands of people online and 4,000 people in front of you. That's a big
That's
show.
nerve-wracking, yeah.
And it got a lot of press and stuff like that. And he did a great job.
It was cool. There was like a moment where I'm interviewing Tom Brady and like Harbaugh's just next to him right there. And I was like, this is insane. And he's looking at me to kind of run the show and keep it going and be funny.
the host and
be funny and keep it like moving in certain ways. It was truly a great experience. And in the moment, I actually had so much fun, even though I was really nervous before we
That's
started.
cool.
But
And then we both got to do it the next year.
Yes,
which
which
was
was a
just
blast.
super fun.
So we talked about this for a
love
quick
that.
second on our last one we did. It was a coach and an MMA fighter.
Nice.
And we talked about, I asked him, because the coach also used to fight. And I was like, were you more nervous before fights when you were fighting or when you had to sit and watch, whoever you're coaching? Were you like sitting there thinking of him doing that by himself? Were you almost a little more nervous than when you have to do it yourself?
Yes, I was super nervous because when we're together, someone can be there to pick up the slack.
Totally.
It's like when you're in a band and someone's having an off night or whatever, someone can kind of like take over and maybe just help
100%.
guide it through. But if he's out there on his own, I felt for him and I knew. But the second he landed that first joke and like was waiting for the response,
And he could tell that I was having fun.
Nice.
we both. It was funny because he did it on stage and I was over here, and I just felt a release, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome."
It's going to be fun.
And it's really
But
cool.
it is nerve, and we still get, in certain moments when we perform, we definitely still get nervous. Like it just depends the context of the show.
Yeah.
So again, this past weekend in Salt Lake City, like our first show, we got off stage after doing the show. Meanwhile, the two guys ahead of us were like, "Wow,
This
they
crowd
seem really
weird.
tight for some reason." And we're like, "Well, it might be just an early Friday. That's typically your tightest crowd in terms of they've just worked all day. They haven't really had time to loosen up. It's not like they rested. Who knows if they got sleep the night before."
We get on stage and like in the first like 30 seconds, I hear like what sounds like a 3-year-old in the crowd.
Yeah, we're like, "What is?"
Did someone come in pregnant and have a baby? Like I don't know why. Like
Is
you
this now
cannot.
a daycare center.
You
Salt
cannot
Lake
bring
City.
kids. Yeah, like you can't bring kids in here. And so
Well, Salt Lake City, 3-year-old could be someone's wife.
we don't know. We
Whoa.
don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't listen.
Well,
Don't
'cause-
mess with the elders.
Do not do it. And they're
Don't
Mormon.
question the
They could
elders.
have had. They could have had that. Yeah, got the entire pregnancy happened during the show. And
During
the
the
baby
show.
came. The baby was
So
7 by the
they
time the show
speed
was
it up.
over.
They
So
speed it up.
we showed up and we're on stage and we're you know how it's going. Like we have little litmus tests within the set. Like if they laugh at this joke, this is going to be a great set. If they don't laugh at this joke, we're going to have to work harder about 11 minutes from now when we do this other thing. It's like you start thinking, you start like calibrating your brain, and we get on stage and it's like all of a sudden it feels like rough sledding, and we're like, what is going on with these people?
So we get off stage and we found out that it was a company, like they kind of bought the place out, and the company was a recovery home for children. I was like, okay, these people. Meanwhile, we're like, we were getting off stage. We're like, we should probably get out of comedy because we can't do this anymore. And they're coming out going like, that was the best company party we've ever had.
And,
like-
and
Like,
but
okay, good, but
Why
who
would
is
they think that
booking
was
these
the
things?
We said this would
proper-
be a great idea.
I
Team
guess
building.
Look, they look, I don't
They've
fault
seen
the
it
club
all.
at all because the club, is like
Made
great.
money.
We have a lot of people coming and it's a good thing. And I don't fault them at all. I just was like, wow, someone, they should have alerted the club to alert the comedians like,
Yeah.
hey, this is going to feel different.
This might not be like your regular set, and so we were walking around kind of all mad. And then the next show was super fun. The late show was like
Nice.
beautiful, beautiful show. But it's so funny. I feel like if we would have known that, hey, this is a corporate thing for people in recovery, we probably would have been so nervous going up and thinking as we were going like,
Ooh, we got to
can't-
edit this
can't
out.
say
Yeah,
this,
that's
don't
it.
say
Yeah,
this.
should we
Exactly.
say this joke or not?
Which you don't want to
Instead,
do.
we said it all.
And felt bad about ourselves after we said
That
it.
actually is a good time.
Yeah,
a
there
good
was actually
segue
a
for
fan question
we
that
had-
wrote in something
We had
just
a couple
like that.
fans actually
Sweet.
write in some
Cool. I love
questions.
it.
Jesse Z Rules
Nice.
wants to know:
Is be the judge of that?
Is it harder now to make, your routines with people being so sensitive and politically correct these days?
Good point.
Yeah, that's
It's
a great
question.
question.
I thought it was a good one too.
Sometimes yes. We've always said this because we did our show Cheap Seats on ESPN Classic for many years, which was sports and comedy, and we had to work for Disney. And Disney, who owned ESPN, was super strict about what you can and can't do. So this is a late night comedy show.
So meanwhile, like South Park is saying whatever the
Yeah.
F they want. And like we are sitting here going, we want our fans to be people who watch that and
and
Chappelle
us.
and The Daily Show. And we're like,
And so we're like, what can we? They're like, you can't say the word sucks. That's something you cannot say on the show. So we're like, well, that sucks. I
stinks.
can't even say it.
that stinks.
So
that
it
stinks shit.
No stinks.
Yeah.
Stinks like shit.
So it forced us to have to get creative and go in a different direction and get weirder and more subversive. And, in some weird way, even though we hated it at the beginning, it kind of brought us to a new place. And that's sort of how we're looking at, it right now. Yes, there are things that we've said in our comedy 10 years ago that I don't know that we would write that joke today.
But it causes you to think about the material that it causes you not to be sloppy in a certain way. Like if you can justify, and we're thoughtful people, we don't want to go out. It's not, and there are comedians who right now, their whole act is everybody's too sensitive and we need to treat immigrants like this. And we need to, it's kind of almost like in a Trumpian sort of a way, but like, that's their whole act is to do that, which fine. I mean, I can't even say that's bad. It's like
It's working right now too.
Sure, that works too.
'Cause
And
people want one or the other right now.
People want one or the other.
Yeah.
But what we say is, what if we gave you something that had the edge of that and had the energy of that, but also no one walked away being like, I didn't like that for me.
Yep.
So it's a little bit more of a high wire act that we have to go through. But we're like, we'll take that challenge. We'll do that. I mean, yes, there are times where we've done some things in the past that are like pushing the envelope as a way to show the exaggerated version of something that we don't like, that now would maybe be misinterpreted by someone we kind of cut that out. I would say, right? I mean, that feels pretty fair. But that's a great question.
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, you got to kind of adjust with times, but still be true to yourself in a way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, and there are some, we always look at like, to me, it's like, what's the intent? Like, if you're doing this at a rally for a bunch of people, who hate other people and you're doing it to rile up the rally, well, then that's obviously like negative intent. If you're trying to get a laugh by exaggerating a stance or a personality, okay, you're doing it for comedy's sake.
And so I do think when people people can be so sensitive they can ruin comedy.
Totally.
Absolutely. Like we in talking about, we do a bit about the fact that I'm not going to do the whole bit here. You can see it at the rec room. You guys.
Come on.
But like the whole bit about how the wall is we feel like it's going to come whether you want it or not. Like somehow it's going to get pushed through. And so how do we deal with that? We're like, well, if it's going to come, what do we do about it? It upsets us. That's what we put forth first. This upsets us because we feel like it's not going to do the trick. And yes, immigration has to be taken care of in terms of comprehensive reform, but the wall's going to come. We feel like it's a stupid solution. So what do we do about it? And we say, let's have fun with it.
Let's do a rock climbing wall
on our side.
But it has to be on our side because they're not going to go for it on their side.
Okay, so now you've introduced this stupid concept of basically building REI on our side where you could book your kid's birthday party down at the wall. You know what I mean? And that is
paying for the wall.
Thank
As
you.
it goes, you guys are thinkers.
So,
That's
but the
right.
point is that, like, in doing that, there are a lot of people who could come up to you and be like,
Look, families are being separated,
this
and
is a sensitive.
you're making light of what's a really difficult subject, and
And
it's
I would
like,
argue back, no, we're not. What we're doing is we're saying we don't want the wall to come, and so if you can, this is what we would say is
we're poking fun at the concept of it,
Of the wall,
Yeah.
and we're saying, look, we're dressing it up in a way that's absurd to highlight the absurdity.
So as long as you have like a basis for what you're saying, I believe, and you're not just saying that like, you know, you're not just trivializing it.
No, and you know, like you said, you're doing it. It's for comedy. It's to make people laugh.
Yeah.
I think, you know, a lot of it's that people sometimes need to realize, you know, it's okay to laugh at yourself too.
Totally.
Look what they're saying. It's not really, you know, hurting anyone. It's just to get a laugh, and you might not agree with what they're saying, but you could probably see the humor in it if you just take a little step back. You know?
I love when people laugh at themselves. Like
You have to.
One thing that we started to do, we did this project on audible.com, and that's another thing. You could sign up for a free month and then
30
quit.
days, then cancel. No.
It's called Sklars and Stripes. But whenever we go to a town, we were like, can we write 10 minutes of material about the town that we're in?
Nice.
And while we're there, plane lands on Thursday, can we write this material over the course of the weekend and then start doing it in the shows? And that's what we do at the top of the show. Now, you are talking about like the Utah thing. Once we talked about the fact that, I mean, when we were up in Portland, Oregon, there was that whole case of like the measles. Like we said up there, we were like, all right, if one thing we know we are leaving here, Portland is a case of the measles. They love that so much because it was like part of them. And
I mean,
Trust me, they know.
They know we were in Salt Lake
live
City.
there.
One thing you almost like can never. People get so offended about this more than anything is if you cut on their sports teams and like
It's our
sports-
favorite thing to
So
do.
this weekend we were talking about being in Salt Lake City, and there was like a John Stockton way, and we were like, it was cool to be on that. It kind of distributes you onto other ways, which is really great, just like John Stockton. And then we said there was a Karl Malone way, more of a dead end street.
Yeah, well, it almost gets you to where you want to go.
Like you can see your
the
final destination, but you can't really get there. And so that dug into a sore of them never winning the finals, and that kind of was. We got some like pushback.
the mailman.
That was fun. You know, we should have said there was a post office on that.
There was a post
Come
office.
on, man,
love
where
it.
are you?
John
Post on every
Stockton
block.
will assist you in any direction.
It's just
Distribute
those
it on
loops
any
where
other
there's no exit. You just keep.
That's right.
We said
Oh,
John
my God.
Stockton's. We love when teams do the throwback like jerseys. That's so
yeah.
fun. But
And they should do throwback shorts for John
Stockton, his shorts were so short
The
they
best.
were a belt. Like, let's be honest about that.
His shorts were so high they were a necklace at Burning Man.
Randy went to Burning Man. Did you know Randy went to Burning Man?
You went to Burning
Yeah,
Man.
I
he's,
don't know if
he's,
I mentioned it
He's
or-
training for a half marathon as well.
Oh, did you run a 5K? Because you didn't even mention that for like 8 minutes, and I forgot.
Amazing.
I was at Coachella. There was one that I missed
that's
the
so
half
cool,
marathon
man.
because I was Coachellaing.
Wow.
Not a
Goodness
big
gracious.
deal.
Okay, wow. So you ran half the marathon on Molly.
All right, that's
yeah,
fantastic.
cool.
Hey, that happens, man. I ran a marathon and I chewed my cheek off. Good.
Yeah, I sucked on a lollipop the entire time.
Not a bad deal.
Not a bad deal.
Did you guys ever go to like a rave? Not as an adult, like as a kid, like, yeah, I'm going to go take some Molly and go to a rave with my friends.
Yeah,
We've-
in
yeah.
college we did
Oh, yeah.
stuff.
Well, I mean, you went to Burning Man. I mean,
I went, but that was this past year. But
no,
yes,
in
we were
college you
younger.
messed around and had fun and did stuff like that and stayed up all night and like, you know, now like if we there are times where like we'll have an early flight back because our families are like, please come home as soon as possible. All right, fine. So we come back, and some nights, you know, you finish your shows late and you're all amped up and you're out for a little while, and then you're like, does it make sense to go to bed right now because the car's picking me up in an hour, and then
Yeah.
you get home and you're like, oh, I should have fallen asleep.
I should
should've
have done
fallen
even just
asleep.
for the hour. I should have done it.
I
Kids
should've-
run, meet you at the door, each one on each leg.
Yes.
yeah.
And your wife
Over.
is like, hey, I'm checking out for a little while because I was with these guys for 4 days. And you're like, I'm dying. But then
I
that's
know that feeling.
Oh, that's
I
You
shit.
know that feeling.
oh so
touring,
well.
touring musician, you know.
Coming home and just
Here,
being
they're
a zombie.
yours. Yeah, I know. There's nothing you can
And he
say
has
about it.
dogs and cats and frogs, and they're all meeting you at the front door. When you open up his front door, it's just dogs
Noah's
running,
Ark.
cats
It's like
running.
two
It
of
is.
each.
It
Just
is.
zip, zip,
I have
zip.
to have at
God.
least 2 of each animal because I can't. And I just
because of
Play
the
with
flood.
each other.
one of my dogs just passed away.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, 14 years.
That's
Oh,
a good
dude.
run.
14 years. Yeah,
That's
good
a great run.
So my other dog is 8 now.
Okay.
So I'm
gotta get a
doing like
young
an
one.
adult thing here because my kids obviously are like puppy, puppy, puppy,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you know what?
Rescue an adult.
I'm gonna
dog.
go rescue an 8-year-old dog.
Wow.
So that my dog can have
smart.
same age. They
Yeah.
can live their life out together.
First of all, I've been to some shelters. We've been looking a little
Yeah.
bit, and like the 8-year-old, you'll be able to get one.
Oh, yeah.
And a great one.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a puppy. So
Everyone
there'll
wants
be
a
plenty
puppy.
of 8-year-olds for
There are
you.
lots.
But I saw it happen with this 2 dogs I have now. Like, yeah, right when I got the 8-year-old, and you know the other dog was like I don't know, 8 or 7 or whatever, they were fine. But then, my other dog got to like 11, and then this one was like 4 or 5. And it's not
you're
the same.
essentially putting your 56-year-old on dog Tinder.
Yeah.
That's essentially what
Yeah.
you're doing. You're like, we're going to connect you.
Let you
and
live your lives out together.
Exactly.
And
That's not a
then
bad thing.
Dog
Bark
Tinder.
bubble.
Dog
Little
Tinder.
video chat you can hold
Yeah.
in front of your dog.
What do you think?
What do you
What
think?
do you think?
Row, row. Yeah.
He did. I'm sorry.
That
did
was
he,
a good bark.
That was a
you.
good
Did
bark.
he bark
Known
left?
for that.
Did he bark left or right? I couldn't tell if he wanted
Bark
me
left,
to.
you move on to
It
the
was a
next
left,
dog.
but
Yeah, so
yeah.
you move on to the next one. Bar right, bark
God.
right. You got to keep.
I don't even know.
Is
by
that
the way.
chapstick? Oh, no, that's not chap. He liked that one. He liked that
He
one.
liked that. He liked
His
that.
red rocket came out. That's
He's into
We
doing
don't
it.
get that one.
the
We'll
red
have
rocket.
more dogs.
The red rocket.
So, having these guys in, I thought, this would be a perfect subject on this show. We always try to have some sort of subject, makes you feel good, something inspirational. And we just thought laughter.
yes.
What a good subject this is. I feel like this has something very close in common with music. And, the music we play, one of my favorite things that happens is when someone maybe shoots me a DM online or something, and it's like,
Dick
hey,
pic.
I was, turned on by your music. They send me a dick pic.
That's great.
No. But if you get a message like, hey, I was feeling really down and I heard this song
Made
and
me
it just
feel
really
better.
brought me back up. It made me feel better. I just want to say thanks, and that just makes you feel so good. You're like, wow, I made this song, not really knowing if anyone would like it. And now look, I really change someone's life, for the better. Even
Gives
if
me
it's for a
chills,
day.
even just to hear that. I have
Yeah.
like chills
Great.
about that.
And I'm sure that you guys probably get somewhat of that same feeling when you're on stage and you're just making a whole room of people just have a good
best.
time and just you're seeing them laugh and what a cool feeling that must be.
It is great, and I also love that, yes, we do have a little bit of merch, but for the most part, what we do and what we create is something that goes out into the world, and then it isn't like something that contributes to the waste of the world. It is an
Totally.
experience that people have, makes them feel good,
Or
fills
we'll have
them up.
people say, people have written to us, and this has like brought me to tears. Someone will say, like, I listen to your comedy album or your podcast while I get chemotherapy. So that's like an hour of my life that I hate. I don't look forward to it at all. But if I know that I have an hour of
You're gonna get
That
me
just
through
gave
it.
me chills.
You
Yeah,
get
so, like,
me
that's
through
insane.
it.
and you go like, well, this is why we got into this. Even if it's just one person that has that reaction, this is why we do this, period.
It really is cool, man. And so laughter, just think about it. It's one of those things, and I think I said something similar when we were talking about music, and it's just one of those things that's still just left in this world that's just so natural.
Yep.
Purely
And it's
good.
just like, there's just
purely
there's-
good.
Purely good. There's no way you can find bad in it, although some people try to.
Of course.
But it's just a beautiful thing. And laughter, you know what, Jake? It makes us feel good. And here,
Segway King over here.
oh, here I'm feeling good with Daddy. We have a couple sponsors, and our sponsors are always things that make us feel real good.
Nice.
And you know what makes me feel good? Whiskey.
There you
Yay.
go.
Yay! And this whiskey is delicious. Proper 12. They've been with us since day one on this show, and we've been drinking it ever since, and it's really good.
You boys have important things to do.
Yeah.
You're
I
not
don't know
gonna
if we can
partake.
drink it, but I'm gonna watch you
No need.
enjoy it.
Awesome.
I mean, if
me.
I show up to carpool line today with my kids wasted, I don't know if that's the best idea. But
I don't think
It's not the
it's
worst,
Not
but
the
it's
worst.
not the
but
best.
it's
Yeah.
they're-
Again,
I know you're drunk, Karen. I'm going the right way. Get your ass out of the way.
Jake, hook it up. But
I will.
honestly, this is really delicious whiskey.
it.
And
Please.
as I said in the past, if you go out and get yourself a bottle of this and you take a picture of you and your friends taking a shot of Proper 12 and you tag us and Proper 12 in it, I'll send you something. I don't know what it is, and I don't even know if you'll like it, but I'll send you something.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Proper 12. I like it.
Boom.
Proper 12. That's like Conor McGregor's whiskey line.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Nice.
he's a whiskey guy now.
love
Yeah.
That's so cool. This is like
It's
knowledge.
whiskey it's
I'm gonna
whiskey
know-
that smacks you in the face.
right or chases your bus
does.
down.
That's right. Throws
dude,
a hand truck at your bus.
cheers to you guys. Salute. We'll
Enjoy
drink
it.
water on your behalf. Nice.
How was
work.
it? Smooth? Go down smooth?
It is.
It is very
Okay,
good.
neither of you made a face, which tells me either you drink a ton of whiskey
Or it's super
or it's
smooth.
just the smoothest thing ever.
It's-
Both.
Yeah,
he drinks
both.
a ton. I barely do. It's smooth.
Yeah,
You barely
Whoa,
do, and you
whoa.
didn't make a face.
Well, now that I'm doing this show,
Yeah.
I've
A lot
drank a
more-
shot every episode. This
Yeah,
is
that's
what
nice.
the 12th, 13th, 14th. This is a new show.
I
don't know
love
if
it.
you guys
I
know
love
that.
it, man.
Well, but so you know what's cool? So I always like to, even if I'm not a heavy whiskey drinker, I love to hear what someone likes because then I'll be like, oh, that's what I'm getting as a gift for this friend of mine who I know likes it or that. So I'm super psyched to know about
Easy
this.
whiskey to drink.
It's a very easy
I
shot.
love like dudes who, because there is a whole thing of whiskey, especially if you just take it and enjoy it, and it's whiskey and scotch and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
To like
Have it with a
over-
cigar.
right? Or just have
Yes.
it like in a glass with a large ice cube,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
over
Oh, yeah.
time. And really nurse it and take it like through an evening. Like that to me I like the culture surrounding it.
Yeah, no, it's nice. I got into it for a while. I got really into Manhattans.
Ooh,
Which
yeah.
is just pretty much like a whiskey martini, you
Right.
know, and that's the same thing. I like to just sit with them. They're delicious.
the ice melts and it almost tastes a little. It's like you're supposed to have a little water in it. So as the ice melts, it
Yeah.
kind of tastes almost a little
you go.
smoother. That's what I was told.
Dude, you guys.
But yeah,
Good, man.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
you know what?
Awesome.
I could probably send you home with the bottle.
Yeah, we'll send you
All
guys
right.
home with the bottle.
I
That way
love
when-
it.
I'll
Done.
take it.
On
Done.
the note, I got a couple other sponsors we'll talk about really quick. Koi CBD is one I want to talk about. I always talk about it. I love this product. I've been using CBD every day for a long time, and then Koi was one of the sponsors for the One Love Festival we did. So I met some of the guys there. Super cool people, super great company. If you haven't tried any CBD products and you're someone that has a lot of pain or inflammation and you're constantly popping like pain pills,
No, do
give
this
CBD a try.
all the way, because it's not going to get you high.
You do
It
not
is
get
going
high.
to take care of-
Non-psychoactive.
No.
Right, it's non-psychoactive.
All natural, and yeah, like he said, like you're not gonna get high. I think a lot of people who haven't tried it have a misconception and they think, oh, it's marijuana. I'm gonna get stoned by this. No, you're not. But you are gonna feel a lot better. And Koi CBD is a great product. They're so clean. And if you go to koicbd.com and you put in code DUDDY at checkout, 20% off.
Boom.
Wah, wah, wah. Oh, and
Boom.
also we don't have it on here right now because everyone that works here took it home because it works.
Yeah.
They have like a little rub on. I guess salve. What would you call it?
Yeah,
like a-
topical.
Topical ointments. Dude, you rub it on. It's like minty, smelling, and it tingles a little bit. And I rub it down my spine and my back.
It's delicious.
Takes
Feel
all your
free to
back
have
pain
some.
away.
Feel free.
Like Ben Gay.
Yeah.
They have to drive.
It's delicious.
Oh, again, never mind.
no, we can do that.
Yeah, just kidding.
I
Yeah.
will take that
Little
home.
free.
Tincture,
Feel free,
ba-boing.
yeah.
I'm taking that home.
Yeah,
Do
we'll
it.
send that with you.
And one other thing I want to say with that, I take it every morning, and honestly, it's like almost like a natural mood enhancer for me, which is one of the reasons. And I'm not mood enhancer, but I'm feeling it, like I feel good. It just kind of takes a little stress off.
Yeah.
and it's without getting tired, by the way, and it's just a great way to start the day. Koi CBD,
I
give
love
it a
it.
look.
You sold me.
Yes,
Done. They're going to take it with them.
And I'm
am.
not done there. I got another one. Sticky vapes. What a cool product. We are in the future, people. We are in the future. You have a weed stick in your pocket. Like I said, I'm a busy millennial business smoker guy, and I can't be rolling around with a bong in my pocket.
No, you
Not
can't.
anymore.
I can't.
Not anymore.
Sticky Vapes, another great company, great people. I use this product every day. Check it out, stickyvape.com. Next time you're in a dispensary and you're going to pick up a vape pen of some sort, pick up a sticky vape pen. And look we actually made some dirty head ones with them, and these ones are awesome. We have a
Sweet.
sativa, the Dance All Night, and we have an indica, the Medusa, and they're both delicious. Give it a go.
And this is a new thing, but you can now smoke these premaritally in Utah.
Yeah, that's available now.
Just passed.
Just
A
passed.
law
Just.
just passed.
It's not your mom's Utah.
Thank you. This
not
isn't
anymore.
this isn't your sister wives mom's Utah.
Utah.
This isn't your third mom's Utah.
Yes.
Everybody, all right?
This is your third mom's Utah. That's it.
Okay, big state,
Fact.
little vape pen.
Any more stuff?
One last one. On it. Another great company. I've been taking the Total Human supplements every day, and then this instant powder. You can put it in your water, 8 ounces. It tastes delicious like peach.
Peats?
Like peach,
Yeah.
and it's great for your memory. It's great for your focus, and it is actually delicious. And then this one is actually great. I use this on the road. We get off the stage at like midnight or so. This would be great for you guys.
Yeah.
You get off stage and it's late, and then you probably have a show the next day, but it's hard to go right to bed
'Cause you're
all amped up.
Your energy's high.
And so it's just this natural melatonin spray. A couple sprays in your mouth, boom, you're gonna sleep like a baby.
Can I give it to my daughter
I
at
want
6
on it.
p.m.?
You're in.
Yeah, I
On
want on
it.
it.
5.5-year-old?
ONNIT. That's 2 N's. ONNIT. Onit.com. Check it out.
Get on it.
Boom. So you guys have thrown out first pitches.
Yes, we have.
Oh, yeah, we have.
So fun. We did it in St. Louis. So we did it.
Well, the first time we did it was in Cleveland.
first time we did it in Cleveland, which was a blast.
So it was late in the
Progressive
season.
Field.
Progressive Field. They heard we were going to be in the area, and they said, "You guys want to come throw out the first pitch?" And we were like, "Yeah." And then we did a show that night at Hilarities, which is a great club there. But We go to the game. It's an afternoon game. We're throwing out the first pitch along with other people who were throwing out the first. It wasn't like we were alone. But we were the last ones to throw
But
it
it was
out.
cool.
The last one's that was the most important.
The
Yes,
most important.
thank
So
you.
so Randy goes and throws sidearm.
I
and
go
then-
dip down like submarine style.
and he throws hard.
Eckersley
From
on
like
him.
from the
from
top
the
of the
rubber.
mound.
Yeah,
Rubber. You got to
from
rub
the
it
way,
out.
60 feet.
Come on.
So Randy throws it hard.
Whip it.
And he
Cleats?
whipped it probably about 7.
I
We
did
didn't
not
have
wear
cleats,
cleats.
but we had our gloves.
Even gnarlier.
And he threw it hard, and that was awesome. And then I got on. I'm like, I want to do a bit. I'm like, I got to do a bit.
Gotta do a bit.
So I went from the stretch, faked, pickoff move to third, turn like I was going to throw to first. And then some guy from up in the box, how do I know this? Because there's a YouTube video. If you Google Sklar's throw out first pitch in Cleveland, you can find it. And you hear the guy in the background be like, come on, throw the ball. And I'm like, it's 40 minutes before the game. Who
cares?
It's Cleveland. It's September. Your team's way out of the race. And you're in a box. Where do you got to be, bro?
Yeah,
what are
stuff
you doing?
Eat the chicken strips, dude.
and just
You've got
chill out,
40
eat
minutes.
the chicken strips and shut up. So I do that pitch. I come up to the box, which we happen to be sitting in the Cleveland Indians box right next to their box.
Oh, awesome.
And this guy tells me, hey, that guy over there was yelling
At you.
So I'm like, I'm going to confront this guy. So I go, hey, man, I heard you were yelling at me to throw. He's like, throw the ball. And I was like, dude, if you ever get a chance to throw out the first pitch and you don't do a bit, I'm going to yell at you. Do a bit. If you Google Sklar Brothers, that's it. That's the first pitch.
That's it.
And you can hear the guy yell. If you turn up the volume, yeah, it's after
perfect.
Randy.
It's only
All
40
right,
seconds. We can watch
So
this.
here comes Randy. You'll see Randy.
you just
Go
did-
full screen.
Full screen it.
Full screen, yeah. So here's Randy. Side up.
Oh, nice.
Side up. Oh, Whip City. All right. So,
Chin
now,
music.
so I step up, give me the ball, and I'm going to do a bit.
Yeah, jog too.
And then I would watch this, because listen to the guy yelling. So, fake to third, turn to Watch this. Curveball, put it right there, strike.
That guy wasn't going to give you
Wow.
one extra
By
second.
the way, did it take that long
No,
for him
one
to do
second.
that thing?
It made it
One
so much
fucking
better.
second.
I did a joke.
I'm going to
All right,
give that guy
and
some
you
Coy
had-
CBD.
that guy
to
needs CBD.
chill
You
the
had to
fuck
keep
out.
the runner on first at home because you
That's-
were throwing a slow
thank you.
curve.
Keep
and
him
he's going-
honest.
You got a guy on third. He's stealing second.
Keep
By the way,
him
I threw a
honest.
strike. So then we
It was like Anderson Cooper up there, keeping him honest.
Absolutely. Straight Talk Express.
I was
on
like
the
Don
fucking-
Lemon. So then
Okay,
Randy and I go to St. Louis to do it, to throw out the first pitch on Jose Oquendo bobblehead night. Now, we did a show on ESPN Classic called Cheap Seats. We did a special trying to get Jose Oquendo into the Hall of Fame.
Utility player has never been in the Hall of Fame, and the end result was that we went to his home in Puerto Rico. We met his mom. We
went to
went
Cooperstown
nice.
during
We
Hall of Fame
reenacted
weekend.
his first at bat at Shea Stadium. We went to St. Louis, and then we went to we talked to Tony La Russa. Then we went to the Hall of Fame, and we made a homemade plaque of him that got hung on the utility closet
Briefly.
at Cooperstown.
Briefly.
So
So-
we felt like we had achieved our goal.
So we
did
go to St.
everything
Louis.
you could.
We go to St. Louis, and Randy gets up to throw first, and he's going to throw sidearm. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, you should do this. And then he threw it.
I threw it. There was a photographer who
Like
was
an
standing,
old guy.
standing like next to the plate, and Oquendo was catching. Oquendo
Now,
caught.
Oquendo is like older than us.
and he's not going to move around to get the
It's
ball.
not like you have the professional catcher who's going to slide out and make the
Yeah.
play. So Randy
I
throws.
threw it and let it go, and
Our joke was he threw it so far left he brushed back Rachel Maddow.
All right, so I did throw it a little far left.
So then he hits this old camera guy in the leg. I'm like, you just took out a guy. Like you might have a lawsuit on your
I
hand.
might have broken the guy's
And
shin.
then I threw another curve and I sunk it in for a strike.
Nice.
And that
Not
was
a
our
big deal.
that was our bit. Now I want to do it again.
yeah. Now you've thrown it 3 times.
I've thrown it 3 times.
Wow, where?
Angel Stadium,
Yeah.
Dodger Stadium, and the Brewers. And on Father's Day this year, I'm doing it again at Dodger Stadium.
Yeah.
Will you
Double
hook us
banger.
up with your Dodger hookup? Because I want to do
Dude,
it.
David, he's in there.
David.
David.
Can we
David.
do a 3-person throw out?
No, I don't want to step on his thing. Sklar's want to do it.
Oh, no, we can't. No.
We'll do it on a separate day. I
Oh,
don't
I
wanna-
got. How about this? Because I got this thing going, and maybe you guys want to jump on board with this. This is like my thing. I want to throw out a pitch at all 32 stadiums. It's
Oh, my
32,
God.
right?
My man.
Yeah,
My
you
first
have
pitch
to.
at all 32
You have
stadiums.
to.
Bucket list. I want to do it.
Do it.
So
Yes,
I'm
yes.
throwing it out there again. I've thrown it out on a few. If you or
No
anyone
pun.
you know,
Are you lefty or righty?
I'm a righty.
He's a righty.
And you go from the
I, go
rubber.
I was a pitcher. I played like
Yeah,
high
we
school
both grew up
baseball
playing
and
yeah,
shit.
so do we.
Yeah.
All right, so
Nice.
judge our form. How do we do?
Yeah, you guys look
Honestly,
good.
it was great. And
Dude, the sidearm, like
I hated
threw
the
some
sidearm
heat.
pitchers. I
threw
fucking
some
hated
heat.
sidearm pitchers.
So my son's 10, 11. He's playing baseball now. And so I'm going with him to like his training sessions and stuff. It's so great. So like that notion of reaching out, tucking the gloves so it gives you more of a, puts you more, centered where the ball goes, aiming for the top of the helmet on the catcher.
I want to see if I can find the picture of me. Yeah, while we're talking, I'm not on my phone. I'm just trying to find.
Go for it.
Because they did the professional picture of us.
Here.
But I'm scrolling through some emails right now.
That's a very high-tech comedian device you guys wouldn't know about.
He's like, Jason, take over. I'm going to back up.
I got it.
I'm going to find this guy.
Now you're the one who's alone on stage right now, and he's very nervous for you. I can see it.
I always feel alone. We always say sometimes when we're on the road, like, because we know each other so well that, like, sometimes when we're just the two of us, it's, like, lonelier than being alone.
Hey.
Because at least when you're alone, you can do whatever you want.
Right?
Right.
I just heard an electronic tear go through the internet. It sizzled its way through the ether.
Yeah.
I will find this. I
He's
swear
gonna
to God.
find it. But I'm going to finish that off. If you or anyone you know
can get this man on the hill.
Or the Sklar brothers. Let's go.
Or the Sklar brothers.
Sklar's on the bump. Let's make that.
Sklar's on the bump.
Duddy on the bump could be like an actual, that could be a campaign.
Duddy on the bump.
Duddy on the bump. Let's start it here. It started right here, right now.
When do you think that was that we did the Cleveland thing? What did that say?
Search
up in the
Sklar
thing?
brothers.
No, because if you get the date, I'll go right to our pictures.
2015, 2016.
Everybody, welcome back to Duddy on the Bump.
Duddy on the bump. That's your side project.
That's your guys' new podcast where you just interview people from a Little League mound in your local city.
I walk up to the mound in between innings. Like, so how you feeling?
Yeah.
About that last inning, he got a couple home runs.
And they're
like,
like,
what are you going to do this inning?
Who is this guy? Oh, he's just Duddy on the bump.
Duddy on the bump.
Yeah.
No, I did have an idea. What if we did a show called like Visiting Hours and you just went to jail and you just interviewed people from jail every day?
Or how about stadium jail? Underneath the stadium.
The jail where like streakers get put
Fresh
down there.
crime.
Nice.
Stadium jail.
I like this.
That would be like that could be a TV show like the new
Night
Millennium's
Court.
like
Night
Night Court
Court.
or Barney Miller. Stadium jail.
Stadium jail, dude.
We'll
Just
go
that
this.
big boob chick that used
We
to
were
get thrown
talking
in there
about
every...
this, Jake, with the
Morgana, the kissing
I
bandit.
used to love her, man.
Oh, she
As
was
a
the
young
best.
boy, I would just really be excited when
I
she
know,
Of course
but
she
like there's something about it today where you're like, if there was a guy who ran out and he was wearing short shorts and ran out on a softball field and he was getting older, like 40s and 50s, because we are, of course, getting into the women's softball World Series that's happening right now for college softball. I think we wouldn't be okay with that.
No.
If he ran up and kissed a woman. You know what? It's the woman who stabbed Monica Seles that like ended anyone running on a field. First of all, you go back and you watch when Hank Aaron broke Babe Ruth's record, and then like two white dudes just like ran on the field and started running with him. If I was
no
Hank
one
Aaron,
did anything?
No,
They just let him?
if I was Hank Aaron, I'd be like, oh, this is where I die. Between second and third.
They're coming to get me.
This is where two people just start stabbing me, a period. Like, I was like, this is insane. We were watching back on our show Cheap Seats. We would have footage just in the TVs of old things, and we were watching footage from the World Series when the Yankees were in the World Series.
You should find this and throw this up there. Game 6 of the 1977 World Series when the Yankees are about to win. There's a shot of, like, first of all, Reggie Jackson, who's playing the outfield, goes out, runs in, puts on a batting helmet because he knows the field is going to get
About
stormed.
to go.
And he doesn't want to get hit in the head. And as he runs in,
Meanwhile, you look in the outfield.
there are people sitting on the wall with their legs hanging over the wall.
Remember when everyone freaked out when Jeffrey Meyer like reached over the wall and caught that ball, and they're like,
my God.
he stole a home run.
Yankees,
death
game
threats.
6, end of the game. You can see it. Like, there are literally in the last pitch, there are people on the wall with their
They
legs.
could have blocked a home run. They could have
or
ruined the game.
Fan interference. Oh my God.
Gosh,
That is
times have
amazing.
changed. Thanks, Stabber
If you go
tennis lady.
straight to the end, it's not 96, it's 77.
77.
Right up top.
Oh, there you go.
right
1977 right there.
Game 6 Dodgers. If
You
you
just
go,
passed it.
You go to the right there. That one.
up.
Yeah, right
now,
there.
if you go and drag it right to the end, I think you will see just it's so insane. The concept of these players having to make the play
and then run through a sea of like crazy. And these are New Yorkers.
Could
who are
be
like,
anyone.
New Yorkers
Could be
could be
anyone.
like,
I mean, there's probably
too.
moments where you like finish a show and like you get out among people and you're like, oh, this is cool. And then all of a sudden there's a crowd of people and you're like, I don't know.
right to the very.
Yeah, I don't like when it's a huge
About
crowd of
there-ish.
people. It makes me nervous.
Okay.
We're looking at
when
it.
They get it full screen.
We got the righty lefty. That's
So-
what you want.
And
And
they'll cut to the.
oh, he lays down a bunt. Beautiful bunt, actually, but it doesn't. Oh,
Nope,
it
safe
worked.
because he wasn't even on home
Jeez.
plate. Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't even.
So, but there's a guy that they have to show the outfield
Come
because
on,
you will
show the
see.
outfield.
Show the outfield.
It's
For the
insane.
listeners, we got Dodgers on all the bases, or at least first and second. A guy just scored. It's getting heated.
Someone laid down a great bunt.
That's a good
Beautiful
bunt.
bunt.
Oh my God! He didn't even square around. He just dropped it down.
Look, the catcher came out. That's his
Oh,
bad.
it was a drag bunt.
Oh, you know
He was
what?
on the run.
It was such a drag
It
bunt.
wasn't
that
a force
It was
out.
part of Pride Weekend. That's how
It
much
was
of a drag bunt it was.
That's RuPaul's favorite play, by the way. Is the drag bunt.
Dude, I love
I
that.
think that was,
Work that into the fucking
Should we work
set.
that into
oh
the
my
set?
God.
All right,
Look at that. People sitting on the wall.
There's people
What?
sitting on the wall. The fucking trash
And
all
look at that.
over the field.
You've added 5 feet to the home run.
Dude, that is insanity.
Wow.
If it hits the wall and it hits someone's leg,
This is like
What's the call on that?
this is like a Clash concert.
Yeah, all right.
You gotta watch when Reggie makes the
Clash
catch. When Reggie makes the catch, you will see this. If they get to the end,
I can't.
and like Cosell's calling it, and he's like, "They don't know." I'm like, Cosell, you do even know baseball?
Look at that.
Lee
That is
Lacy, remember
a
Lee Lacy?
clean
Oh,
bat,
man.
no batting gloves, and no pine tar
And
to
no
be found.
no tattoos.
No tattoos.
No
That's
long
unacceptable.
hair, no chain.
Little
All right, Reggie's coming in
Oh,
right now.
Reggie, dude.
Look what he's going to get.
Coming into the thing right
Wow.
now to get a batting helmet. He's asking for a batting helmet.
I don't want to get plugged with some stuff.
Reggie's coming in
And he's
from the
mad.
outfield. He's getting a batting helmet so that he has safety.
It looks like he may have already got hit by something.
By the way, they're
Holy
about to win.
sheesh.
They're about to win, and he's,
And this is not at Dodger Stadium.
this is in his own thing. Insane.
Just terrified of what's going to happen.
I love this so much. It is.
Keep it going. We got Reggie just looking bored. He's got a little mini afro
about
with
this
some
guy?
big fat glasses on.
How about the red
Reggie
coat?
is angry. Like Reggie's like
Holy shit.
Reggie's mad like George Brett when his hemorrhoids are acting up. Look at that.
He looks like Lawrence Fishburne in John Wick 2.
He does.
Why did it take so long to get him a helmet?
He's trying to get to the Matrix, guys.
Yeah, seriously. He took
And,
the wrong.
and he's like, "Can I just get like a knife or a gun?" Thanks, guys. And he puts his glasses back on, runs out with the helmet, and he's like, "If you touch me,
I'm gonna
I
fuck
want
you
you
up."
guys to see this." All right. He makes a play. Does he make the catch?
I don't know. Someone makes the catch. He runs into the dugout. He
He
lowers.
doesn't just try to avoid people. He's like, "I'm going to hurt like 5 people."
Oh my God!
There's-
Not tumbleweeds flying across the
Garbage
field. Just
in the outfield.
Garbage tumbleweeds.
This is like what the New York subway system looked like back
Yes.
It looks like he's telling people in the crowd too, like, you don't
there's-
even come near me.
How's
There's
the catchers back then? No extra like ball gear.
No,
nothing.
no. There is so much garbage out there that Matt Paxton from Hoarders had to come in and do like a special counseling
Dude.
session. Just,
All right, so and the angle from the center field camera is even off into like right center. So like you
Look at how
can-
dirt, like
Aye.
how unkempt the area around first base is. Like almost like the grounds crews were like,
Yeah, you know
we'll
what?
get to it.
It's
So-
gonna get
we
screwed
got
up
other stuff.
anyway.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
like-
popped it up.
There's another game
It's the
after
ball
this.
game.
Oh,
Is it?
They
there
win.
it is.
Now watch Reggie Jackson
Reggie
run.
Jackson, where are you, Reg?
Okay, look at this. There are just people now.
Look at this.
Oh
Watch
my
this.
God.
Watch
Watch
it.
it.
Watch
Watch
this.
this. Watch this.
Lower the shoulder.
He's going to lower the shoulder.
Whoa, Reggie
this,
Jackson
watch
looks like
this.
he's going for a touchdown.
Oh!
Oh my God. For the listeners, Reggie Jackson is running to the dugout and absolutely fucking shoulder checking fans on the way in.
shoulder checked one guy.
And
Look
now
at that.
this like
Look at that. There's someone just doing cartwheels. In the
this looks like when like Guns N' Roses like didn't show up for the concert and the
Oh
fans
my
started
God.
ripping up
I
all
want
the.
a piece of everything.
This is
All right, that's all
pre
you need to
9/11
say.
America.
That's
We just
all you
watched
need
it
to say.
happen.
Billy
Wowzers.
Martin's just happy. He's like, I need a drink.
I need a drink.
If they would have lost, he would have said, I need a
Look,
drink.
at the time, if it was around proper
Billy
12.
Martin, if you're thirsty,
Yeah.
get some proper 12
Get
whiskey.
that proper
Yes.
12. Wow.
There you go. Anyway,
That's all you need to
anyway.
say. Worth
Wow.
showing to you guys.
Wow.
Worth mentioning.
We're talking
We
about
do
with
not
you
lie.
guys.
All right, these boys actually have to get back to LA. They've
Yeah.
got so much going on. They drove all the way from LA to see us out here in Orange County.
right.
They're
Loved
doing
it,
pitch
dudes.
meetings. They're doing all sorts of shit.
Yeah.
So once again, really quick, we don't even have time for the band camp. We got to get you guys back
We
on
can
the
do the
road.
band
You
camp.
can?
Let's do it.
All
Let's
right,
do it.
beautiful.
Let's do it.
We're in band
Here we go. Oh, give me 1 second.
Get it.
Oh.
Hit it.
Oh, and this one time at band camp,
Yeah.
Nice.
There we
Love
go. Band
it.
It's our one drop. We're very proud.
Band
Proud of it. Love it.
All right.
So, what is the band camp?
Bandcamp is just a weird, interesting, funny story from the road.
Okay, I'll give it to you. Randy and I were doing shows a few years back. One night in Minneapolis at a theater, then the next night we were going to Toronto, okay, to do shows. We get to the airport. It's a Saturday morning. We go to check in, and I check in. It's fine. You know, going to Canada, I show my
I
passport.
give my passport, which, by the way, like a few years earlier, it's like you didn't need it. You could use your
driver's license
to get through.
So
like
this is after 9/11. Things have changed. We weren't hip to that. So Randy goes, and the guy looks at the passport, and
he starts typing. He's like typing so long. I'm like, okay, you should not be typing that long. What the hell is going on? And he's like, yeah, this passport is expired. I was like, no, it's not.
He's like, you can't go to Canada. He's like, you think you're going on this flight? You're not going on this flight. And I'm like, well, we have 3 sold out shows at this thing up in Canada at this venue,
the Comedy Bar,
which is a great venue. I'm freaking out. I'm like, I'll get on the plane and I'll just show up and apologize to everyone. I'll tell the club whatever.
Well, no, we didn't know what to do. I was like, I got to go and find a passport place that can do it in an hour.
I'm like, you're not going to get it. It's not going to happen. So I'm thinking I'm
Saturday.
getting on the plane. I'm going to go apologize to everyone for an hour, and maybe I'll be funny. I'll do Q&A, whatever. I'll say, if you want your money back, the place, give your money back. Tell the place you don't have to pay us. Fine. So I show up. When I land, Randy's like, I have a solution. While you were in the air, I figured it out. So I get to the club, and with my computer, we set up Skype.
No.
We put Randy on a screen next to me.
Now, I am in like a shitty motel in
Not even
Minneapolis.
a Days Inn.
It's just a Days. I'm like, I never
Days
heard that.
Out.
Days out. Exactly.
So he's sitting on a bed.
like the Wi-Fi is spotty. I'm on the bed.
And I'm like, so we did 40 minutes of stand-up together. And what was
it was
No
And
way.
every-
there was a time delay because you're now in different states, in different countries, in different time zones.
It's like you're interviewing someone on a space station. How's
Totally.
that?
Like trying to do comedy with someone with a cosmonaut.
And if you watch me and Randy, you know that our timing is like everything almost, you know. And so the fact that anytime we were off, I made fun of him for messing up his passport. Before we got on, I hosted the show and I brought up other comedians. They did sets, and then I was like, all right, I'm auditioning for the Canadian Randy because obviously Randy can't get his stuff together. So I'm like, you'll be the touring company, Sklar brother. You do a joke of yours and we'll do it together. And so we did jokes together. It was really fun. The show ended up being great.
and they took me out. This is the best.
On my computer, we brought him out after the show to the merch table. And Randy, people could put on headsets and talk directly to Randy.
Oh, so it worked out.
It
and it
worked
turned out to be one of the most interesting shows we've ever done.
Nobody asked for their money back. By the way, you'll never see that ever happen. First of all, there aren't a ton of like
Comedy teams out there.
that do it, let alone twins, let alone
Twins with a dumb brother who didn't update his
All
passport.
right.
Oh,
And there you go. That's our Bandcamp story.
There you
that
go.
is amazing.
Perfect
Thank you.
Bandcamp story.
Thank you, brothers.
And all right, we got to get him out of here. There was so much more we wanted to talk about. I
We'll
hope
have
to
him back.
God we can have you guys
We'll come
back.
back.
You guys are
We'll come
amazing
back.
and
We'll
so
definitely
easy to
come
talk
back.
to.
Yeah.
So again, let's just plug everything, you guys.
Plug
The
everything.
Sklar Brothers are on tour right now. Go to supersklars.com to find all the tickets. They have a lot of California dates and Oregon I saw on there, everywhere. But importantly, for the local people in Orange County, Saturday. Is it a Saturday, June 15th?
Saturday night.
Saturday night, June 15th.
at the Rec Room.
Let's
Rec
fill
room.
it. Let's
Let's
fill it with
fill
your
it
fans.
up,
I
dude.
know your fans would
Yes.
love what we do, and I know you guys would love this venue. It's like a giant barcade outside there. So there's like
There's
all
like
this.
bowling and there's arcade stuff, and then it's like a cool
So
bar.
you come
and then-
out for the night. It's a super fun night. It's a great venue. We'll have a great comic working with us, and I think it's just going to be great. These guys are going to come out
Dude,
to the
we're
show.
going to come to
Yeah.
the show
We're
and
gonna be there.
make a night of it. Like
Let's
we
do
talked
it.
about it earlier. Bring your family.
Yeah.
Eat food there. Let's laugh together because everyone's happy when they're laughing.
Yep,
Totally.
great
All right?
ideas.
They've got a new special on Stars. We said go check it out, but more importantly, go to supersklars.com.
all
Get
of our
your
stuff's
tickets.
on there, and you can listen to
all
our
their stuff.
You can listen to our podcasts on there. Those are on there, and you can
Dumb People
subscribe to
Town
those.
and View from the Cheap Seats. But come see us in Huntington Beach at the Rec Room. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Oh, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Instagram, we've been posting a bunch of clips of our
Stand-up
on Instagram and stuff from our podcast. So that's a great way to kind of get a little taste of what we do. It's just at Sklar Brothers with brothers spelled all the way out.
There you go.
You
Thanks,
got it.
dudes.
Thanks,
Thanks
boys.
again for
Duddy.
coming. Hit it. Awesome. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you to the Sklar Brothers. And this summer, make sure when you're at the 311 Dirty Head show, you go out to the Cutlass booth. Jake's going to be here. And yeah.
Jason's knocking over the thing.
We're going to be there all summer at the shows. Make sure you come out to the booth. Say what up to Jake. Make sure you follow Cutlass Brand on Instagram. We're going to be doing a lot of contests for tickets to every single show. And
I want to send a big shout out to Reamp Studios. Thank you, everybody here at Reamp, killing it. Ashton behind the boards, you're the man. Mark sitting in the corner, probably farted. Who knows, man? Thank you
Sounds
guys
good.
for
Thanks,
listening.
Mark.
peace.